everyone, I'm Leanne. If you don't know me, and if you do know me and you're back, thank you so much. I'm happy to have you back. Today we are looking at some of my empties. We're doing a trash tour. We're looking at some of the products, well, most all of the products that I have used up in the last, I don't know how long, couple of months since the last time I did one of these videos. For some reason, you guys keep liking these videos. I always feel like these are like old YouTube, but for some reason, you guys keep saying you want to see empties and I keep collecting them, so here we are yet again. Hello, I'm in a different place. I'm sitting in a chair that we used to have in the old house. If you watch the vlogs, you might remember it. Anyway, this is not where I'm going to be recording my videos. The place where I plan to be is still full of boxes. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should turn that into a video to like trick myself into like getting it together a little bit faster because I really need to get on it. I moved to a new house, to a new place, with a big bag of empty products, a big bag of trash. And I kind of feel like the last few moves I've done, one of the first videos I do after I move is an empties video because I feel so guilty and weird and ridiculous for having moved with a big collection of trash that I'm like, I need to get this out of my life. Like I'm unpacking, I see this bag of garbage and I'm like, why is your life so weird? Why do you do this? Why is this your content? For whatever reason, it's a tradition. It's a tradition I never intended to have, but let's do it. Let's look at my empties. It is in a giant beach bag wrapped in green moving wrap. I don't know what you call this stuff. This is how I move. This is what it looks like. It's a mess. But inside here, yes, we have the good old, oh, it is overflowing. There is so much stuff in here. So many empties. This is about to be a complete circus and it's not going to be in any kind of order. I'm sorry about that. But I mean, honestly, what's new? My videos are a mess. Welcome to my channel if you're new here somehow. Let's just talk about this stuff. I like talking to you guys about my trash, not only because you guys like to hear about it, but also because I get to talk to you about favorite things that maybe I don't think of putting in favorites videos, or maybe it's something that I repurchase over and over and over and over again, and maybe you're new to the channel and you don't know about it, but I don't think about talking about it because I've talked about it a long, long time ago, you know what I mean? Or if I purchased something and I hated it and didn't get an opportunity to talk about it, or if it's something that I'm just kind of meh about and I'm not gonna repurchase, you know, there's a lot of reasons. A trash video, an empties video, is kind of like a favorites video in my mind. So I do feel like they're really helpful. I know I said they're like old YouTube and they're weird and whatever. I do still believe that, but like they serve a purpose. I acknowledge this. So let's talk about my trash. This is something that absolutely should have gone in my 2019 favorites. I don't know what I was thinking. I missed so many hair things that I should have talked about, but this is by far my favorite shampoo that I discovered last year, and I keep repurchasing it over and over and over again. I've gone through several of these little bottles. I have another one in my shower right now. It's the R&Co Television Perfect Hair Shampoo, and it's really just like the best all-around shampoo. I honestly don't notice a huge difference with a lot of hair products. So the fact that I really notice a difference when I use this shampoo is huge in itself. But with this one, I definitely noticed that my style lasts longer. My hair doesn't get as greasy. It's not weighed down. Like for me, it really actually is the perfect all-around shampoo. The only thing I don't really like is that it's expensive. I really need to go ahead and spring for the big bottle with, I think it comes with a pump, but I just keep buying these little dinky bottles and I go through them. Not fast, but sort of fast. Absolutely recommend, beyond a shadow of doubt, will repurchase. I already have. Okay, next up, really, this is just a grab bag party. I'm just like grabbing something out of the bag. Who knows what it will be next. This is the La Roche-Posay Hydrating Gentle Cleanser. I really like this cleanser. I have repurchased it and I will repurchase in the future. Right now I'm using a CeraVe one and it's very similar. It's just a milky, super gentle, fragrance-free cleanser. And for me, I really like to use those not when I'm taking off makeup, but just when maybe I'm cleansing in the morning and just taking skincare off. I just really like using something like this because it doesn't have to be a strong cleanser in those moments. You know what I mean? Okay, next let's talk about a makeup product. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow. I'm pretty sure you guys know at this point how I feel about the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow. That stuff is my life. This one, however, is very good. I would not hesitate to use it again. I am done with this one and I definitely am on a CoverGirl kick right now, so I don't have any plans to repurchase this, but it is not bad and I definitely would recommend it. It's really good. I mean, of course it's good. It's been around forever. I feel like my hair is like attacking my face right now. Okay, so this is one that you've probably seen a whole bunch of times in my Empties videos if you've seen them before. This is the Dr. Bronner's Hemp Citrus Soap. What's weird is I don't think I'd ever purchased the citrus scent before. For some reason, citrus is not my thing. Like when it comes to soaps, like that's just not what I gravitate to. And it's not that I don't like it. I just don't normally go for that. I'd rather have something that's a little bit sweeter, like the vanilla or the almond or whatever. But for whatever reason, maybe this is all they had. I got the hemp citrus and I really, really liked it. I would definitely repurchase this one, but I mean, I don't think I like it more than the almond, but I'm just saying, I really, really like this one. If you haven't tried it for whatever reason, it's definitely worth it. Okay, here is an old favorite that has come back in my life. If you've watched old Empties videos from like, I don't know, 5 years ago or more, I used this stuff for I don't know how long, like 10 years of my life, forever, like way before this packaging existed. It's the Vaseline Cocoa Radiant Lotion, and it is so good. I'm definitely one of those people that uses lotion, maybe obsessively. Every time I get out of the bath, shower, whatever, at least once a day, my entire body is getting moisturized. I cannot go without it. That's just my life. Like I moisturize the entire body. I hear people on YouTube videos saying that they don't moisturize after showers, and I'm like, how do you go on? I don't know. I would feel so weird like putting my clothes on and not having lotion on. Am I just really high maintenance? Am I just realizing that as I'm saying this? I don't know, but this stuff is really good. It's from the drugstore. That does not make me feel high maintenance. Just kidding. I just like to use moisturizer a lot. I definitely really like the pump that they have. I do wish their packaging was a little bit different. I think one of the reasons why I strayed away from this lotion for a while was because I didn't really love what the packaging looks like, and it still doesn't look very good to me, and I don't even care anymore. I love this lotion. It's cheap. It's easy, it lasts a long time, and it moisturizes my skin. And that's really all I need at the end of the day. So obviously it goes without saying, I have repurchased it. I would repurchase. Okay, how about a little bit more makeup? This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. You guys might have seen this in my yearly favorites video. I am in a committed relationship with this foundation. I really, really love it, and I've talked about it so many times on my channel. It says 24 hours on it, but really for me, it's not one of those bulletproof 24-hour foundations. For me, that's more like Estee Lauder Double Wear. But for this one, I really do like the consistency. I like the coverage. It is more of like a day-to-day foundation. It does break down for me over time. I do have oily skin. I do live in Texas, so you know, the environment is against me. My skin situation is against me when it comes to makeup. But for day-to-day use, when it's not one of those moments where you need bulletproof foundation, I really love this. I've reached for it so many times. I've repurchased it. I have it in so many different shades. Okay, let's talk about a sunscreen. I've talked about this one before, but in case you haven't heard, it's the Supergoop Smooth and Poreless 100% Mineral Matte Sunscreen, SPF 40. I really love this stuff. Not only is it tinted, but it's also kind of like a primer, so it sort of smooths. It has sort of like a mousse-like texture. I don't really replace my primer with this, but I think you probably could. I'm an everyday SPF kind of girl, like no exceptions, no excuses, ever, ever, ever. And I've tried so many sunscreens, and like I said, I have oily skin, so I really have to be careful about what I'm trying. And this one is specifically formulated to be a matte sunscreen, which I really, really appreciate and I definitely look for. Have repurchased it very recently, but I've repurchased it so many other times. I would definitely recommend it if you are an oily girl and you like a smoothing type primer. This could totally work for you, but I will say it's pretty pricey. So this is kind of a small tube and you do go through it pretty quickly if you use it every day. I definitely would recommend this sunscreen. Okay, next up, an old favorite that has been in my bathroom for I don't know how long, like since it came out. Since this came over on the Mayflower, the Garnier Micellar Water, the original. This has been in my bathroom. I love this stuff. I've started buying like the jumbo sizes because I just can't get enough of it. I always have many, many empties of it. I don't know how many I have here, but this one's just so good. I always like the original the best. Here's one that I love and I really, really, really wish I didn't. There's so many different texture sprays for hair that people say are a dupe for this one. I've tried them. They're not. Sad to say, nothing compares to the Orbe dry texturizing spray for me. It is so good and is so stupidly expensive. But for some reason, I justify it. But nothing works on my hair like this one does. I have really fine hair, and obviously I have hair that's probably way too long, so it gets weighed down by that. So I need all the help that I can get when it comes to volume. Like, okay, this is day 1 hair for me. This is not my best hair day. I'd say day 2 is usually my best hair day. But you see what my hair looks like right now? Like, my hair would be so sad and so flat if it weren't for this texture spray. Like, you have no idea. This saves the day. It's way too expensive. I'm embarrassed about how expensive it is, but I keep repurchasing it, and I will continue to repurchase for the foreseeable future. It is a sad fact about my life. Okay. Self-tanner. You've seen this one a million times. It's a Saint-Tropez Self-Tanning Express. It's an advanced 1-hour tan. I usually leave it on for 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on what the day is like. I usually try to do it during the day, like when I don't have to leave the house, or like I'm just like editing or something just at home. I have a whole self-tanning routine. If you didn't see it, it's probably the most like focused routine I have in my life, which is maybe sad to say at this age, but that's just true. So self-tanning, I'm very committed to this one. I absolutely love it. I do try other ones, but I always come back to this one. It is really, really, really good. Next up, another skincare product. This is the SkinCeuticals CE Ferulic. Okay. Ferulic. Basically, my understanding is that it's like a vitamin C serum. This one is kind of crazy expensive and very hard for me to justify, but I have seen a difference. I do feel like this is one that really, really works. I do also like the Drunk Elephant one, so I kind of switch between that one and this one depending on which one I have at the moment. I do like this one. I haven't repurchased it yet since I finished this one up, but the door is always open. I do trust this brand, so it could happen. Okay. Is this one skincare? I don't know. What is mouthwash? Body care? Mouth care? Oral care? Anyway, this is a mouthwash. I don't think that I've ever included a mouthwash in an Empties video, but this one is definitely worth talking about, at least for me. I am so impressed with this mouthwash. I'm pretty sure I actually included it in a favorites video, but it's the Mouthwash Clinical DDS Activated Oral Rinse. And it says 24-hour bad breath prevention. That's a big claim, is it not? Okay, so the weird thing about this mouthwash is it comes with 2 spouts. So there's 2 sections within this bottle, and you get this little cup. So you just pour it through like that, and you have to be really steady because the 2 sides have to pour out at the same time, and it mixes together, and that's what makes the bad breath banishing magic happen. And it really works. It's kind of crazy. So since I got my Invisalign and I've been using a retainer at night, I just feel like it makes me have such horrible breath in the morning. And I clean my retainer. Like, I don't think that's part of the problem, but I just hate bad breath. I am so concerned with having bad breath. I want to avoid it at all costs. And when I saw this, I had to try it. And I have to tell you, it absolutely works. The only thing that's kind of annoying about it is that you cannot travel with this because this top does not stay on very well. I obviously really need to talk to the people at Smart Mouth, but that's for another day. I have to say, this stuff works. I would definitely repurchase it. Next up, this is the Bondi Sands Self-Tan Eraser. This is another product that was definitely in my favorites for last year. This stuff is so good. I thought that self-tan erasers could not work. Like, it wasn't a thing. Like, it was just a gimmick because I'd actually tried other ones in the past and it had made the job harder. Like, when I came out of the shower after scrubbing, I was streaky. Like, I don't even know how they can make that happen. But for some reason, this one works. And you can find it at Walgreens. It's not super expensive. It's from Bondi Sands. I have repurchased it and I would repurchase again for sure. Oh, okay. While we're on the topic of self-tanning, these are the self-tanning drops from Isle of Paradise. I ordered them from Sephora and I got it in dark. These I had for so long. They are actually completely used up, but it started to change color. Luckily, it started to change color when I was already basically done with it. So I was like, this probably needs to go. So this stuff is really, really amazing to mix in with your nighttime moisturizer. You put it on at night, go to sleep, you wake up and you have a bronzy glow on your face. It definitely develops over time. So you don't want to like put it on and expect to have a tan right away. And I don't use it every day, but I definitely notice on the days when I do it, like if I have to wake up early in the morning, like go to the gym or something, it just gives you a little bit of a glow. And I have the dark color and I used like just a little bit, and a little bit goes a long way for me, at least. When you're going to the gym early in the morning and you need just like a little bit of color on your face, this saves the day. And I don't use it every day or anything, but when I remember to do it, I do it and I love it. And also I have repurchased it. It is so good. Okay, let's talk about the thing that we always talk about no matter what, and I'll probably be talking about until the day I die. Batiste dry shampoo never fails. I always have this in my Empties video. This time, however, I have 2 of the volumizing dry shampoos. I have discovered the volumizing dry shampoos. For some reason, I was kind of overlooking them, but this volumizing dry shampoo is actually so good, and I think I like it better than the regular Batiste. And I'm not saying that the regular Batiste isn't good, and I would definitely still use this. Like I have this right here. This is the Fruity and Carefree Pink Pineapple. I really like this. I really like trying all the different scents a lot, but obviously I've gone for the volumizing a little bit more than I've gone for the fun scents lately. This one is really good. If you haven't tried it and you like Batiste, definitely give it a try. Okay, here is another hair care favorite that I've talked to you about 100,000 times, but honestly, I will never stop talking about this, because if there's one person out there that I have not told that they need to try this and they need to hear this, try this. If you have hair like mine, if you have processed your hair within an inch of its life, if it's blonde, if it feels dry, if sometimes your hair kind of feels like a broom, this stuff will save your life. I use it like a conditioner. I don't always use it like a mask. It smells incredible. I have not even told you the name of it. It's the Amika Soul Food Nourishing Mask, and it is to die for. Look at that. It's like licked clean. Is that the most disgusting thing I've ever said in an Empties video? I promise I did not lick it, but I would. This stuff will transform your hair. I found this at the salon that I was going to in Houston, and ever since then, I have to have this in my shower. It is so good. Obviously, it goes without saying, I would repurchase and I would absolutely recommend it. This stuff is amazing. Let's talk about a couple CeraVe favorites that never really leave my life. This is the PM Facial Moisturizing Lotion. It's really amazing. It's kind of gel-like. It's not too heavy. I use it in the morning and at night. Obviously, I pair this with an SPF for the morning because obviously this doesn't have sunscreen in it and you need sunscreen, but I just really like how it feels, how it hydrates. And then this is the Eye Repair Cream. I really like this. I'm not actually loyal to it. Sometimes I use the Neutrogena one. Sometimes I use this one. Sometimes I don't use eye cream at all and I just put this under my eyes and I just don't worry about it. Sometimes I feel like eye cream is a scam, but I'm obviously not too sure about it because I keep buying eye cream. Obviously, I would repurchase these and I would recommend them. I'm trying to go through this kind of fast. Have you noticed? Okay, this is something that I can feel just from picking this up. It is not empty. And I'm kind of kicking myself for putting it in here. Oh my gosh. This is a product that I definitely don't talk about enough. It is essential to my everyday life. I absolutely love this powder. I use it every single day. It is the Soap & Glory Kick-Ass Instant Retouch Press Powder. There's another one that's a whole lot like it that's also by Soap & Glory. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, actually, just kidding. I don't have to remember the name because I have it just off camera for touch-ups. So this is one heck of a blot. These two seem the same to me. Maybe they're not the same, but I purchased them and used them as if they're the exact same thing. They look to be the same thing. I don't really know if they're trying to like pull a fast one on us here. I don't know if they're the same. Maybe they're not the same. I'm just not noticing, but I love this stuff. So I used to always rely on those oil blotting sheets because I get oily through the day. I don't do that anymore because I feel like that picks up your makeup and then you start looking splotchy. Now I use this powder on a brush and just tap just a little bit on my T-zone or wherever it's getting oily, and it saves my makeup. And obviously it's from the drugstore, so it's more affordable. The only problem is I'm always carrying it around in my purse, and so this could happen. This one is absolutely shattered and it's just broken to pieces. I actually just repaired one, so it has that fresh homemade paper towel texture on top. So basically, if you don't know, you can fix your powder products at home. If you have alcohol, just rubbing alcohol, you smush up your powder product, like it's probably shattered already like this one is, but you smush it up more, get it into the formation you want it to be in, put your alcohol on top. Don't like overflow it or anything, but get it nice and saturated. And then you press it down. You can use like a paper towel like I did, and it gives it a new texture on top. And then you let it dry. And it really honestly doesn't take it too terribly long to dry, maybe like overnight. And I do feel like it's more susceptible to shattering again after you do that DIY fix, but if you still have a significant amount of product and you want to save it, it's definitely worth a try. And I'm kicking myself for throwing this one in my empties. I guess I did it like in a fit of rage. Sounds like me. But I'm definitely gonna go and I'm gonna fix this one because there's no reason to just toss this. I love this stuff. I feel like I've talked about it way too long already. Obviously, I would repurchase it. I really love it. Okay, moving on. I've already talked about this one, so I'm not gonna talk about it again, but obviously, the obsession is real. The obsession is horrible. Another hair obsession I cannot get away from. This stuff is so good. When I say it changed my life, I am not joking around. And not this last year for New Year's, but the year before, we went on like our Mexico New Year's trip with Grant's family, and I put this stuff into like a little travel size sprayer. Huge mistake. It got crushed on the plane trip over there. I opened it up and I had no detangler, and I was so upset, especially going to the beach, and my hair is fine and my hair gets so tangly, like tragically tangly. Like it takes me so long to brush out my hair after I shower. So like going to the beach, just shave me bald because I'd rather not deal with that mess. But I went down to the spa and it was like a miracle. They actually had this stuff. I still haven't told you the name of it. It's the OI All-in-One Milk, and it's a detangler, but it's also a heat protectant, and it just works wonders. It doesn't weigh my hair down, and it helps my tangles, and nothing helps my tangles. I've ordered it from Amazon. I bought it from salons. I found it at that spa in Mexico. It is just so good. Obviously, would repurchase. Okay, what else do we have here? Okay, this is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid, and I've repurchased this so many times. You've seen it in so many of my videos, but I don't have any plans to repurchase this again, just because I found that Charlotte Tilbury color corrector, and I've been loving that so much. It's actually a cream, and it comes like in a little mini compact, and I definitely really loved this one while I was using it, but since I found the Charlotte Tilbury one, it's just not as good. Moving on, here is a product. I'm pretty sure I talked to you about this one in my last video. This is one that I always have in my purse, and I definitely don't talk about enough because I use it like every day. This is the Supergoop Invincible Setting Powder, and for the longest time I thought it was invisible, but it's actually invincible. I wish I knew how to read. It is SPF 45, and it's a powder, and it comes with a brush. It kind of just self-refills. This one is totally empty. I had it for so long, probably way too long, and honestly, what I really love to do is I use my Kick-Ass powder or whatever blotting powder, and I kind of tap the SPF powder in, and I also rub it in here, and that's how I touch up. So I'm adding a little bit of SPF. I'm also using my blotting powder. It's like all in one, and my makeup is fresh, and I have like a little bit of extra SPF. So for me, if this is adding just a little bit more sun protection when normally I wouldn't be adding any, that makes me happy. So that's just how I see it, and it's definitely something that I have in my purse all the time. I do have another one in there right now. This one did last me quite a while though. Okay, moving on. I mentioned this earlier in the video. It is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow. This is in the color medium. I absolutely love this stuff. I have fluffy, crazy brows, and no other brow gel makes a difference with them like this does, which is so crazy. I've tried like so many high-end ones. This is the stuff for me. It has great pigmentation that really works for me. Like obviously everyone's undertones are different, and I think they only have 3 colors and a clear one, so that's kind of tricky. It definitely can't work for everyone, but it definitely works for me. It gives them stick, it gives them volume. It doesn't make them stick flat down to my face like brow lamination, which I did that before. If you haven't seen my brow lamination experience video, I went over like a few days and showed you the whole process of how they settled down and how they looked after like a week and all of that stuff if you're interested in that. But I did another brow experiment video, and I did like soap brows. So if you like soap brows, you will like this brow gel because it gives you that stick, that volume, but it's not messy, and you're not dealing with a bar of soap. Like who wants to do that in their everyday life? Not me. Definitely not me. Less steps is always better. And it's from the drugstore. Like this is everything. I don't know why everyone isn't raving about this. Maybe they are and I'm just not paying attention. That is also a very big possibility. 2 more skincare products. We have the C Firma from Drunk Elephant. I mentioned this earlier. It's a vitamin C serum. I've definitely noticed differences in my skin with this. It's really good. The only problem is that over time it does go bad, and it's better if you keep it refrigerated. And as it ages, you'll actually be able to see around the top of this packaging, there is like dark brown stuff, goo, and that's the product that's aged and it's oxidized outside of the packaging. So this stuff is good, but you do kind of have to be careful and you can't like buy a bunch of them. And then this one is also from Drunk Elephant. It's the TLC Framboos Glycolic Night Serum. It's 12% AHA BHA blend, and I really like this. I've used this on and off for years at this point, but more recently I've been using this a whole lot more because I've been trying to stay away from all of my retinols and everything because I've been trying to get pregnant. You're not supposed to use all that stuff. And in my mind, retinol or Retin-A, I like the prescription version. That is like the gold standard of skincare. Like that's what you want. And really it's been hard for me to stay away from the Retin-A and the retinols and all that stuff because I do think they're a really, really powerful thing to use on your skin. But I do think this does great things. I think acids can do a lot of good things for your skin, but as soon as I am able to get back to my Retin-A, you know I will be doing that. But definitely, I would recommend this and I would repurchase. Very good. Okay, I have one last little swimmer in here, and I think this is actually really, really old, and maybe I just found it when I was like cleaning out my makeup room and I threw it in here. This is a really good brow product, and I talked about it, but it's been a while since I've talked about it. It's a Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Brow Color, and I have it in the color Light. And this one is really, really light. It's one of those almost kind of like an eyeliner pen, but it's a brow pen. And I was obsessed with these. I used the MAC one, I used the Urban Decay one, I used the Stila one for so long. And then I discovered the CoverGirl Brow Gel, and all of those things have just like wiped from my memory. It feels like so long ago that I was relying on those. These are definitely still really, really good. You can draw in some little flicky brow hairs if you're an artist. For me, I was always just like trying to do that and it was never quite working. But I do really like these, and this is one that honestly, I don't think I've ever heard anyone else on YouTube talking about, but it's really good. Okay, finally, that is everything. I feel like that took a really long time. I'm sorry if this video is 100 years long. I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm sorry for like the weird jungle location. I definitely will find a better spot in this house to record in the future. It's just like everything is just boxes and clutter everywhere. This is the best I could do for this week. Definitely follow along with the vlogs. Check them out if you want to see the whole moving process, decluttering, unpacking, organizing. It's all happening. There's really no end in sight with all of that at the moment, unfortunately. To be totally honest, I am so sick of it. I'm so ready for it to be done, but it's all exciting stuff. Thank you guys so much for being here. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. If you are subscribed, thank you so much. You are my people and I love you. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I almost said Tinder. What? You cannot find me on Tinder at this point. Sorry. Anyway, LeighAnnSays everywhere but Tinder. I'm like going loopy right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone. Luna decided she needed to come sit with me because there's guys outside and she does not approve. I might have just given her a perch so that she could see more things out the window that she is upset about. So thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time. Bye everyone.